friends, so now for some yoga. It's going to be purely standing because it's so much easier if you're limited for space at home. It means it's accessible for everybody, no getting down and up off the floor. So you can use this as a nice stretch and cool down following any of the belly or bolly workouts, or you can just have it as a nice calming deep stretch for the end of the day. So we're going to begin with a nice calm deep breath. So feel nice and rooted into the floor, tailbone tucked, shrug those shoulders back and down. Just sit nice and deeply into those heels, and we're going to slow down the breath with some arm movements. So sweep your arms up as you breathe in. Hold the breath a moment, and then on the exhale, slowly bring the arms down. So you're going to try and breathe at first up through the nose to the same speed as your arms. Hold, and then exhale, sighing it out. And again, sweep in, expand the chest. Hands together, exhale, slowly, sighing it out. Going to try and move more slowly so you can elongate that breath even more. And if you can, breathe out through the nose, but if that's not possible, just try and breathe as softly and slowly out the mouth as you can. And also we're going to turn, if it's okay for your neck, turn to look up when our arms are above. So breathe in. Look up if your neck allows, hold the breath. Exhale. Breathing through the nose if you can. Squeeze out the last bit of air with your stomach muscle. Hold empty, don't breathe. Breathe in. Expand the chest. Follow with your eyes if you can. Hold. Exhale, nice and slowly. Squeezing the belly button in to get rid of the air. This time we can soften the knees for the sweep up. Breathe in, sweep it up, turn to look up if you can. Hold the breath. Exhale. Coming down. This time we're going to stay empty again before we breathe in. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Nice and slowly. Lovely. So that's just to get us into a nice calm state. Just getting long breaths, especially if you've just been doing an energetic workout. So we're going to do a bit of sun salutation. So I'm going to turn sideways, but you can stay as you are. So we'll sweep up the arms again. And this time on an exhale, we're going to come forward into a forward fold. So pin your arms back, tuck the chin, and come all the way down as low as you can go. You can have knees soft. We're seeking to stretch and release. So if you want a stretch at the back of the legs, feel free to straighten it up. That's really not necessary. So this is all about calming down, releasing, getting ready. So it's a nice evening stretch, or even other end of the day. You can even use this as a morning stretch when your muscles are just trying to get used to it. So soft knees, and just swish in a sort of figure of 80 movement, or just move about, shift your weight side to side. And now we're going to sweep our arms up as we slowly rise. Keep the chin tucked till you come up. Exhale, reach it tall, and then exhale as we did before, arms coming down. So we'll do that again. Breathe in, sweep it up. I'm restricted by the wall here. Exhale, pin those arms back as you swan dive forward, soften those knees, relax. You can have your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart if you just want to sink into it. It also helps you go a bit deeper. And this time we're going to bring our hands to thighs and we're aiming for a nice flat back. So pull up that stomach. You're going to almost like you want to arch upwards. So pressing up, that's to actually get more of a straight spine. Crown of head straight in front of you, so you're staring at the floor, just listening to my voice. And if you want a little bit more activation, press those hands on the thighs and pull those shoulder blades down the back. Try not to lock your knees, keep a little bit of softness there, but what we're aiming for is a really long spine. And then exhale, gently relax down in a forward fold. So we're going to repeat those movements. You don't have to look at me. So sweep the arms up. Just listen to my voice. Breathe in, reach up, look up at the sky. Exhale, bring the hands slowly down to the chest. And breathe in, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, pulling the arms behind as you fold forward. Soft knees. We're keeping everything really relaxed. Breathe in, hands to thighs, crown of head straight in front, looking at the floor, pin those shoulders back. Exhale, just soften and fold down. Have a moment there, and then breathe in, sweep the arms slowly up. Reach till, hold the breath a moment, and then exhale, bring hands slowly to the chest. So just gently warming up mostly all the spine, getting a nice bit of elongation again after any compaction. So I'm going to turn to face you again, my darlings. We're going to do something similar, but we're going to be wide-legged. And when you're wide-legged, you get a little bit lower down as well. Try not to lock the knees, keep them soft. So the toes are slightly more in than the heels, ever so slightly pigeon-toed, but nice soft knees sweeping up. We're going to do a similar procedure, but just in a much wider leg stance. Come forward into a nice fold, soften the knees. And doesn't matter where your hands come to, whether it's up on the thighs or down on the floor. Just have a little sway and a swing. Shift your weight from side to side. We're just loosening out. Nice. And now we're going to straighten up and put our hands on our hips this time. Pull those shoulder blades back so you're hovering. Your chest is parallel to the floor. You're looking down at the floor for a flat back. And then exhale, soften the knees nice and slowly. Relax again. You can hold the elbows if you want. Let the neck completely release. And now breathe in, sweep the arms slowly up as you come back up to standing. Reach tall, hold the breath if you can. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll do that again. So it's exactly the same as when we were standing with feet hips width, but it just gives us a little bit more depth and a bit more movement and freedom to stretch and find some sweet spots. So soft knees, breathe it in, reach tall. Exhale, folding forward. Knees soft as you like. Shift your weight from side to side or just find what's feeling good. Hold the elbows if you want a little bit of extra traction. And now bring your hands to your hips, chest parallel to the floor, driving the crown of the head towards the wall as you pull those shoulders down the back. And exhale, soften everything and fold again. Have a little sway, have a little shift. And now crunch in and trickling slowly, slowly, slowly up this time. And shrug those shoulders down. Raise the head last of all. Nice. So we're going into a bit of goddess squat just to stretch out the hips and the inner thighs. So all we need to do is turn our heels inwards now. and our knees are going to track over our toes. So we're going to slowly sit down and just go as deep as you're comfortable. You don't have to go all the way down, that's excessive, because this is all about feeling good. So just find the point at which you're feeling good. You've got a bit of a stretch going on, so you want a pelvic tuck, so the tailbone's pointing downwards, feeling a little bit of opening around here. And we just sweep our arms up. And this time we're going to bring our elbows down into cactus arms, goalpost arms, however you want to describe them. And there's a tendency for them to come forward, and you want to get everything back. So start pressing those fingertips back to just really open that chest. And then if you think of it and you're comfortable to do so, just sit a bit more deeply. And try and breathe through this. Good. And then gently, slowly coming up. Turn the toes to face front now. And we're just going to do a nice little shift side to side. Bend gently into one leg. Bend gently into the other. Just stretching. It's quite nice on the ankles, I find. Nice. Good. So we're going to do a version of Skandasana, which is you'd normally go all the way down, but this is quite nice just to get a little bit of inner thigh stretch. So have your feet as wide as you're comfortable to go, and we're going to shift all the way into one, bending that knee just to get a stretch here. And now we're going to turn our toe outwards and up and just have a little stretch there. Just hold that a moment, still soft in that knee. There'll be a tendency to come forward, but that's all right. Rest your hand on the knee if you need. It's all about stretching here at the moment, but try and keep your belly pulled up so your spine is straight. So always got a straight spine, okay, my friends? Lovely. And now shift, so this toe turns inwards. Shift your weight as you bend this knee, and then turn your toes up to the ceiling as you swivel on that heel. And we just sit deep into that. Again, pull up that belly, keep that fat back flat, and just get a nice stretch down there. Lovely, and gently coming up. So we're going to start working on the side body now. So again, soft knees can be hip width apart. Breathe in, sweep up. On an exhale, bring one hand down to the thigh and just gently reach over. Now there's a tendency to roll forward, so you're not actually getting the stretch you need. You almost also might find this uncomfortable like this. So we've got options. We want to get that shoulder pinned back as we lean to the side. So you can tuck your hand behind. That will help pin that shoulder back as you lean. Or if you want an extra bit of neck stretch, you can place your hand at the back of your head and push actively against that hand as the hand presses against the head. The elbow points up to the ceiling. Just find which position feels good for you. Or you might just want to extend the arm from there. But that will help really press that back so your shoulder's back and that you're not rolling forward. So it's all about the side stretch, not how far you're leaning to the side. Slowly coming up. We'll do the same the other side. So start with the arms up, breathing up. On an exhale, arm goes to the side, down to the thigh, and reach. And again, you want to correct that shoulder that's probably rolling forward, so pin that back, and you can again tuck it behind the back. Get a nice little neck stretch there as you just gently lean to one side, or you can push your head against your hand, elbow pointing up to the sky. Try not to let that fold forward. You want to pin it back and up. Get a nice strong stretch down here. And you can either stay like that, or you can then extend your arm. I personally like to still push my head against my hand and my hand against my head. I like that extra stretch. And gently, gently coming up, and release that arm and just have a little swing. So we're going to do a little bit of chair pose and at the same time stretch our shoulders and back. So I'm going to turn sideways for this, but you can stay as you are. So we'll do hip width apart. Okay, so feet hip width apart, and we're going to take a little seat. Now link your fingers and push forward to around your shoulders as you pull your abs in. Okay, so you're really pulling in as you reach, press those knuckles away from you. And now, if you can, keep in that position, keep that strong crunch, start lowering down. So you're trying to sit on something invisible. Get that pelvic tuck going on and stretch across. If that's too strong for you, come up a little, but tuck the chin, push away, push away, push away. Nice. Now release the hands and gradually bring your hands behind like little aeroplane wings and press those shoulders back. We're still sitting in that sitting position, you're having a good stretch here. So pressing back. If you want to show off, you can move your weight onto the balls of the feet and raise the heels. Make it a balance pose, but keep that pelvic tuck, keep those shoulders pinning back and look down to the floor. Whatever position you're in, slowly roll yourself back up. Lovely. So along those lines, we're going to do some cat-cow, but not as intense. So we just want to flex and stretch the upper chest, get all that stretched, and then arch into the back like a cat. So I'll stay standing sideways. This time just reach your arms forward. In fact, push with your hands like you're bracing against the floor, and then on an exhale, crunch in that belly, push the heels of hand, tuck the chin, and like you're pushing against something, pulling in the abs and arching. And then as we come up, start pulling the elbows behind, and then pull those shoulder blades down as you push your chest up to the ceiling in a nice arch. And if your neck's happy to do so, you can also look upwards a little. And then on an exhale, start pushing the heels of the hands as you crunch in, arching, sitting low, trying to find the sweet spot where everything feels nice and stretched. Tuck the chin. Then on an exhale, come to standing, draw those elbows behind, press your chest up, turn to look at the ceiling. And again, exhale, crunch it in, push, tuck the chin. Oh, that feels so nice. And exhale, come to standing, pulling those elbows, pushing the chest upwards, pulling those shoulders down, and looking up if your neck allows. And relax. Lovely, so we're getting into some warrior now, just because it's a lovely stretch for the hips and the waist and the side. It does a lot of things. So just take a natural step forward and then a little bit more. And we're doing warrior 2, so it's heel to arch alignment. I'll step back a little bit. So heel to arch alignment, a little tailbone tuck. Try and start pushing into your front little toe. As you try and push the pressure there, your knee starts to track over to that side, which is what you want, and not for the knee to flop forward. You're pressing it back, pressing that knee back, pushing into that little toe, and also don't forget the back foot, so try and push the little toe side of the back foot as well. And you've got your pelvic tuck. So we're starting to get the bottom half sorted. Now all we have to do is gently sweep our arms all the way up. And on an exhale, start pulling the shoulders back as you bring the arms down. And that's going to give you that nice wide open shoulders pulled down stretch. This is a strong pose. It's a delicious stretch, but it does take strength. So we're going into reverse. So bring that back hand down onto the back leg, flip that front palm and try and touch and scrape the ceiling as you bring that arm up. So we're getting a nice stretch down the side again. And once more, you can go for the head against the hand option, elbow pointing up, or tuck the hand behind to keep that shoulder pressing open. Find whatever gives you the stretch that you need right now. And then we're going to, on a breath in, come up to centre. And on an exhale, just rest that forearm on the front thigh, flip that palm, back palm, and start bringing it up and over. So we're getting another nice stretch all down this side. Keep remembering that to stay firm in the legs. You've got a bent front knee, so keep that tracked, keep that pelvis tucked. Take whatever options feel good for you. Hand behind back, hand behind head, or just really reaching and extending. Okay, now pushing firmly through the feet as you breathe in, come up. And then on an exhale, turn both toes to the front. Have a little moment. Breathe in, arms out to the sides in a star shape. And then on an exhale, twiddle your toe. So we're going to work aura on the other side. Bring those shoulders back and down as the arms open. Once more, heel to arch alignment. Start pushing into that little toe on the front foot. You don't want your knee to go beyond your ankle. If you need to adjust by taking the back foot back a little more so you can get that lunge that feels right for you, then do so, or narrow it if it's too intense. And keep those shoulders shrugged and open, and keep that knee tracking towards that little toe. And don't forget the pelvic tuck. And then push into that back toe. But alignment is everything, because that's how you're going to get the benefit of the position. So, still keeping that front knee bent, take your back arm onto your back leg, flip that front palm, take a breath in, and reach on the exhale, coming over and finding whatever works for you. Once more, could be hand back of head. If that hurts your shoulders, tuck it behind. Just keep that lean and that bend in the front leg. Or you might want to keep that arm straight and keep finding the stretch that works for you. Lovely. And on an in-breath, come up. Straighten up, pin open those arms and that chest. Remember your pelvic tuck. And on an exhale, forearm to thigh at the front, flip the back palm. Try and stretch up and scrape the ceiling as you bring that arm over to get a nice stretch, finding the hand position that works for you right now. Trying to breathe air through everything. Don't hold your breath. Make it nice and slow. Okay, and on an in-breath, push through those feet equally. Come up to centre. Exhale, release that down as you turn your toes front again. 5-point star, reach the arms up. And then on an exhale, we're going to twiddle the toes out. Exhale, sit deep. Oh, that's nice. Little pelvic tuck still. And then gently straighten up. And then turn the toes to front. So we're going to work a little bit more on the neck and shoulders now. And start by gently turning to look over your shoulder, over to one side. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe into centre. Exhale, look over the other shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe into centre. Bring your hands behind your head and just rest it comfortably in that cradle. Breathe in. On an exhale, follow your nose to look upwards only as far as your neck allows, your hands supporting the neck. Nice. Breathe in and face centre. And this time, on your exhale, gently look down. Don't force any weight onto your head, but just let your hands, the weight of your hands, rest there gently for the bit of extra traction on the back of the neck there. You can keep knees soft. And then breathe in, start to come up. And then exhale, release the fingers really gently and slowly open those arms down. So we're going to shrug those shoulders ever so gently. Nice and slowly, keeping those knees soft. We're trying to relax the body, so nothing tight, nothing rigid. And you can widen your stance a little more if you want, or if you want a back of leg stretch, keep them hip width. But find an adjustment, and then we're just going to link our fingers behind. If you find linking your fingers is a bit too much, try linking the thumbs like so, and just pull those shoulders back and down. So you're really pinning the chest. Okay, soften the knees a little, get a tailbone tuck, and just keep pressing those shoulders back, opening and expanding that chest. And now we're going to slowly come forward in a forward fold, still with our fingers linked or thumbs hooked, and slowly folding forward with a flat back, just to get a little, use a bit of gravity to expand that chest even more. So just relax that forward. Keep the elbows soft, don't lock them. And just gently pressing those hands up to the sky. Knees soft as you like. Do any kind of movement if that feels good. And then release your hands but stay folded forward. And then on an exhale, restack your vertebrae one at a time as you come slowly, slowly up. Push through those heels, chin tucked, oh so slowly. Stacking one vertebra at a time. Remember, don't raise the head until the shoulders are rolled back and down, and then finally lift the head. Namaste, my friends. So this was all standing. If you enjoyed the practice of child's pose, or there's a Shavasana pose that you really like, just lying down or lying on the sofa, legs up in the air, use the last few minutes to complete this practice, and just to completely allow your body to absorb and relax into all the work that you've done. Anyway, until then, my friends, namaste.